In last week's episode, we left Malmö and had a great sail to the little island Ven, where we spent the night. We woke up to a lovely morning at Kyrkbacken. And if the water temperature would have been a few degrees warmer than 10 Celsius, we would definitely have gone for a morning swim.
Yeah.
Boats started to leave the harbor, but we were going to explore the island.
Getting quite warm, and now we have to walk up this hill, pretty steep, but I guess it's a nice view from up there, so let's go. Frågan är vilken väg ska vi ta här? Should we go that way or this way? Vilken väg tycker du vi ska gå, Malin? Ska vi gå här?
Ja.
Det verkar lättast.
Oj, oj. So we're on the west side of the island Ven. On the east side, which is facing the mainland Sweden, I think there are two harbors as well, but smaller than this one. That's why we went here, to get higher possibility of getting a spot in the marina. People are leaving now, going back. We'll stay here another night.
Pretty steep here.
Yeah, I mean, how high can these hills be?
Not that high. Maybe
50 meters?
Yeah, max 40, 50 meters, something like that. I take that back. It must be 200 meters. Yeah.
We're up. My heart is pounding. So this ridge that we're walking on right now, with these steep hills, is called Backafall, which is one of the features with this island, which is a little bit famous. So when we were sailing here yesterday, you can see these steep hills with sand from a really long distance. The view from here is stunning. Now we're facing Denmark, and Denmark is a really flat country, so you can see quite far away.
These hills or the walls looks a bit like in France in Dieppe, but over there it's chalk rocks.
Someone fell asleep.
Yeah. Seems to be quite a lot of deer on the island. You can see one over there. And pheasants.
Yeah.
You want some salt?
Jag ska ha en liten smak här.
Take a lick. No.
Gör du det?
It's for the cows.
You do it.
Is it salty?
It's salty. Yeah.
But there's no cows around.
If I need any salt for my popcorns tonight, I can grab some from here, scratch a little bit. It just smells so good right now. Everything is just exploding. All the trees, flowers. I missed this actually, these years we've been away. It's the first time we're here in Sweden for spring in 5 years. Här är en perfekt plats för picknick. Nu tycker jag det är fikadags.
It's pretty steep here.
Ja.
Yeah. There's no room for me anymore.
There's no more room for you, Johan. You have to take another blanket. You have to sit next to the blanket.
Someone is taking a nap.
This is what it's like in bed right now. I'm like stuck. I'm like glued on the wall, like this, and she has this much space lying like this, and then you have quite a lot of space too.
I think she takes up around 50% of the bed area.
Yeah, and me 10.
Just a fantastic day today. Let's hope this summer finally has arrived. And as you might know, the summers here in Sweden can be either very good or very bad. And of course we're hoping for a great summer this year because we're sailing in Sweden. And normally the season is quite short, around 3 months. June, July, August. But we're going to start sailing in the beginning of May, and hopefully we can stretch it out to the end of September. But we'll see. Some summers you can do that, but the norm is June to August, I would say. But right now we don't know if we can leave the country in the end of the summer and sail south, so maybe we'll try to stretch out the season back here in Sweden, see some more of our country, and then we'll just have to see and see if we're allowed to sail abroad.
This little village, Kyrkbacken, is a really picturesque little village. You have the church up on the hill called Saint Ib. There are a lot of vacation houses on the island, but there are around 350 people that live here permanently. So there is a school, a kindergarten, preschool, school up to 5th grade, a little grocery shop. You have some little healthcare clinic as well, and for the elderlies as well. So it has its little own community, but historically the people living here, they live from farming and fishing. But nowadays the majority is commuting with the ferry to the mainland, where most people work.
So supposedly up here by the church, Sankt Ib, it's the only place in Sweden where you can see Sweden on the other side of Denmark while being in Sweden. So we'll see if that's true when we get up to the church here. It looks to be true. I mean, you can't really see it from here, but there's a small peninsula town sticking out into the sound called Helsingør. And there's a castle there called Kronborg's castle. And behind that, from this position, you can see Kullen, a peninsula or a place in Sweden. So I guess it's true that this is the only place in Sweden where you can see Sweden behind Denmark. I actually ran aground out there many years ago with my first boat. It's over 20 years ago, I guess. You see there's a shallow marker out there. And this was before we didn't have any GPS on the boat. And we were sailing here at winter time at night. And that shallow marker out there didn't work. And there's another marker closer to land, which we thought was this shallow marker. So we ran straight up on the rocks with the boat. Nothing major happened, but it was quite scary actually. 6 knots and straight into hard rock. Not fun. And what this island is most famous for is that the famous astronomer Tycho Brahe used to live here in the 1500s. He was a Dane, and this whole island was a part of Denmark back then. And he built his observatory here in the middle of the island called Uranienborg. And the ruins of that place is still here, and it's a museum today. It's a quite far walk, so I don't think we will go there, but I suppose it's kind of cool because they have built up his old garden there. And his old observatory, the ruins of that are still there too. So back then he did some really groundbreaking research and observations here from the island. I think there's a rumor, I don't know if that's true, that he died from that his urine bladder exploded at a party. Because he couldn't leave the table and he had to urinate, but he couldn't because he couldn't get up from the table because the king was sitting at the same table. So he just had to sit there to be polite, and then he died. I don't know if that's true. I have to check it up. But it's kind of a strange story. Löste den igen. From our time in San Francisco. Thanks a lot, Kenneth. Skål!
Skål! Cheers to the start of cruising season.
Skål!
Är det något speciellt ställe som du ser fram emot att segla till i sommar?
Yeah, there's a lot of places. of course, Gotland is a nice place, the island of Gotland. And in my sailing life, I haven't really sailed a lot in Sweden. So I have sailed the East Coast once and the West Coast once, or twice actually. But it has always been like just these delivery sails. I bought the sailboat in Stockholm, sail it back home through the archipelago. Yeah, and sail it straight back home through the archipelago up there. And the same on the West Coast, really. And a lot of times in off-season, not very good weather. So it will be nice to go back and see those areas in the right season in the summer. And then when it comes to the West Coast, I actually spent some time up there as a kid when I was younger. And I have some great memories from up there. So it will be nice to see it again from a boat.
Our boat.
Yeah, our boat.
Our own boat, and we can decide how long we want to be in every place. If we really like it, we can just stay longer, if the weather allows it. I'm looking forward to spend time in the archipelagos and to anchor.
Yeah.
Anchor as much as we can.
Yeah.
Find good anchorages. Would be nice to anchor like on a uninhabited island, or this kobba, like the stones on the west coast, and you anchor with a line from the bow and with a stern anchor. That would be nice.
Yeah. And also to sail on the lakes. I know that I said this before, but we're going to pass through two of the biggest lakes, or the two biggest lakes in Sweden, Vänern and Vättern, on our way through the Göta Canal. And there's a lot of cool places in there, and especially Vänern is a big lake, and I think also in Vättern there's supposed to be like a small archipelago up in the north end of that lake. So if we have time, it would be nice to sail around there for a bit. But yeah, the list is really long, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season. Oh, it's Claes from Gransail in Malmö. He says that he's almost embarrassed from all the nice words in the comment section on YouTube from the episodes we did from his sail loft. And he's asking if our followers on our channel are always this nice. And of course you are.
Vad säger du? Vad säger du? Vera?
Bye, mama. It's 8:10 now, and as you can see, the sun is about to set. I think sunset is around 8:30, so it will be dark around 9, I guess.
Thank you for watching and for supporting our videos. This makes it possible for us to create on our own terms. Visit our Patreon page to see how you can support.